Zach Braff, thank you for joining us on 1+1.
Thanks for having me.
In All New People, we meet your character Charlie, one cigarette away from hanging himself, and then he goes on to meet oddball characters who convince him his life's not futile. You've described this play as a dream come true. Why is it so special to you?
Well, I never really thought of myself as a playwright. I wrote this as an experiment because I went to film school. I had some training in writing screenplays, and I wrote the film Garden State. But I love theater, and I actually started this as an experiment just to see if I could write a play. I think it's very hard to write a play, and I actually looked back at my laptop and realized the first thing I had saved this under was called Play Experiment, because I didn't really think anything would come of it. It was just sort of an exercise.
A lot of actors make the jump from the screen to the stage, but end up being on it. Why did you decide to step back a bit and let other people deliver your dialogue when the play had its first season in New York?
Unlike film and TV, where you can sit in the editing room, right? Or you could, go look at a playback monitor and see, oh, did I do that take right? There is no such thing in the theater, and I think the play needed a lot of work. I'm still working on the play. I mean, again, it's a play is a work in progress, and I'm still tweaking lines and changing it.
And your writing has such a beautiful lightness to it. When I saw the play, I loved how you could smile through a lot of the sadness.
Thank you, yeah.
In Garden State, there was an awkward scene with a masturbating dog that develops into quite a romantic scene.
Can you say masturbating dog on television?
I think so. I think we can now.
You Australians are so lucky.
That develops into quite a romantic scene for you. Not with the dog, with Natalie Portman.
I was going to say, did you see a different edit?
But what is it about alternating the comic with the melancholic that heightens both?
I just enjoy that most. I guess at times I can be a melancholic person, but I also like to laugh a lot. And I think that the things that I see or that I battle with in my own life that make me melancholic, I try and find the humor in them. I love those moments in life where laughter and pain or sadness are sort of interwoven with one another.
Well, with this play and with Truth, another one you've done, also Garden State had echoes of, the struggle for middle-class 30-somethings and existential crises, and I was going to ask you whether that's an attractive subject matter for you as an alternative to the funny fall guy you played for 9 years in Scrubs, JD, or whether it resonates with you personally.
Yeah, I mean, all the themes in this are things that I think about, and I don't see how you could be, I think they're very human things to think about. Ultimately, it's just thinking about what are we doing here, and in the end, is there an afterlife, and what's your position on God and fate? And they're all really heavy subjects that most human beings wrestle with at some point or another. I love to do broad comedy. I'd love to do another show, something like Scrubs, a movie or TV show, but I also have this side of me that I like to explore, which is the deeper aspects.
And I've read in a couple of interviews, you've said you've struggled at times during your life with mild depression.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as other artists that you draw your greatest work out of your pain?
Yeah, I think so. I think the things that haunt you as an artist, whether you're a writer or a painter or photographer, whatever sort of art you're pursuing, an actor, of course, I think you draw on the sad aspects of your life. I think that's where a lot of art comes out of. Also the things that make you belly laugh. So it's the polar opposite as well.
After Scrubs and Garden State, you could have done pretty much, I think, whatever you wanted. Why was it important for you to stay true to your indie roots?
Well, it isn't staying true to indie roots. I just did a giant studio movie for Disney called Oz, so it's not like I'm being too precious about staying in the indie world. I just want to do things that I like, I do have the luxury after Scrubs of not having to go do a job that I don't like.
2/3 of the audience for this play are first-time theatre goers, and I was wondering whether who've heard about it through your Facebook page, and is that heartening for you, or is it saddening that it now takes social media to bring art to the masses?
No, I think it's incredible. I mean, if you look at what we did with this play, that's pretty revolutionary in some ways. We broke box office records by going around the traditional means. We through social media, we were able to bring in 65% new theater goers to see this play. And so we have houses that are filled with young people who don't ever go to the theater. And I think that's incredible because I love the theater. I grew up on it. I was like raised on it. My father loved going. And so and traditionally the theater tickets are so expensive. So we did a thing where we offered, you know, on certain days cheaper seats so that people who didn't have the money could afford to get in. We wanted to make it as accessible to a younger audience as possible because it really is a young show. It's a show about people that are in their early 30s, but I think the target audience is sort of, you know, 20 to 40.
Do you think there's an obsession with Gen Y at the moment that unless it's broadcast, it's not big? In terms of, you go to a restaurant now and people are spending their dinners posting photos of their meals, or the next best, biggest musician is chosen by TV judges, and Dorothy in the West End was chosen by a reality TV show.
No, I think you just have to reach young people, and whether that's through social media or, you know, obviously, as you're saying, some people have done it through reality shows, which younger generation seems to like. There's so much competition for people's attention, and that you have to, you know, why do they come out? Why do they want to come to the theater and see a show when they could be on the web or order a movie at home or go see a movie in the movie theater or go to the bar? You have to give them a reason to come, and that's challenging. It's in the theater, it's really challenging, I think.
And so you definitely see that as enhancing art, not diminishing it.
I don't think it diminishes art. You have to get people to come see the art. That's the big challenge, is saying, why do I want to go spend my hard-earned dollars to go see a play? You have to give them a reason, especially if they're not someone who grew up on it. Some of us grew up, our parents took us to the theater. It's something we loved from our childhood. I'm one of those people. But I have people coming to this play that've never been to a play before, and they're my age. And they say, I meet them at the stage door, they say, hey, I just want to tell you, I've never been to the theater before.
And speaking of your fans, you know, you're quite loyal to them in terms of you come out after performances, which not many actors do. And I know you're travelling to Austria to meet your 1 millionth Facebook fan.
When I reached 1 million, I had a contest and said, send me a wacky video of your life wherever you live on Earth, and I'll come there. The fans will choose the best video, and I'll travel to your house and hang out with you.
Hi, Zach. This is how we'd spend the day with you. Teaching you some Austrian German. Having some Austrian breakfast. Having you be our slave. No, work slave. So you better come visit us. Austria. Oh, we kidnapped your hamster.
Risky?
Well, my theory was if I could see the people and sort of see how they interact, then I could, you know, it would weed out some insane people, you know, as opposed to like an essay or something.
Were there any you saw that you thought,
Oh yeah, there were plenty of insane
okay.
ones. But these guys, who I believe are film students in Vienna, were charming and funny and great, and I'm going to hang out with them for a few days. And we're going to make a video, and we'll post it on Facebook. So.
And what do you do in your spare time now, other than I hear you fly planes to the theme track of Jurassic Park, is that right?
I do have a small single-engine plane, and I fly that, and I like to put on movie soundtracks when I fly. It's super geeky, but I like movie scores, so I like to listen to like...
Is it still Jurassic Park?
Yeah, that na-na-na-na-na. You come out over the clouds, it's amazing.
Well, you have another performance to get to, so I'll let you go.
Yeah, a couple minutes.
Thank you very much for joining us on 1+1.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.